Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, just got done with BR Live in AEW All Out 2023. A lot of wrestling in the last 2 weeks for AEW. Yeah, Tony Khan, new media streaming service, buddy. It's a lot of moolah. But I think both shows were definitely worth it. All in last week, all in London. Biggest crowd to see a live wrestling show. Awesome. Here we are in Chicago for the annual All Out Labor Day weekend. I like the fact it's kind of a fixture Labor Day weekend. This is the 5th one, I believe. So definitely love that. Overall, matches did deliver for me. So we're going to start with the pre-show. We have the Over the Budget Charity Battle Royal. The winner, $50,000 to the charity of their choice. Kind of like that. It's always definitely be able to give back to charities and stuff. The final three on this were Hangman Page, Brian Cage, and then Liona. Two members of the Mogul Embassy at Prince Nana out at ringside. And Hangman Page was able to fight off two members of the embassy, the Mogul Embassy, and get the victory there. I gave it 3-star. It was okay. It wasn't anything over the top. The only real big spot was Cool Hands Ange fell off the ringside on the boys, caught him. Dalton Castle's the boys, and they held him for a second, and they were going to put him back on the ringside and just dropped him. Other than that, there's no really cool big spots. Like, oh my god, this spot was cool, If I missed something, yeah, definitely. I was also watching NASCAR race at the same time. So, but then we had the women's trios match. We had Hikaru, Shida, Skye, Willow, Nightingale teaming up, going up against Athena, Diamante, and Mercedes Martinez. And Billie Starkz was at ringside. Billie Starkz, minion number 4,000, something or another that Athena gave her. It's like, Billie Starkz is better than acting like, oh, I'm a minion. No, she's actually a talented, hella talented wrestler. I hate when they do stupid gimmicks like that with them. Just kind of a really thrown together random 6-women's tag match, basically. 8 minutes long. The team of Hikaru, Shida, Skye, Willow, Nightingale, kind of the face team, got the victory. I gave it 2 3/4. It was alright. Next up, we had the AEW World Trios title on the line. Oh my god, this was a mess from the start. So we had champion Billie Gunn and the Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, along with Dennis Rodman, going up against Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Saddam Singh, and Sonya Dutt and Karen Jarrett were at ringside. Billie Gunn first tells the official, I have my own official, and Audrey, what's her name, comes out. Okay, fine, whatever. And then you had Karen Jarrett go to hit Billie Gunn with a guitar. Audrey turns around, stops her, and then Rodman gets in and ends up hitting Jay Lethal with a guitar. Or sorry, hit Saddam Singh with the guitar, and they end up getting Billie Gunn and the Acclaim end up getting the victory. I give it 2 1/4. It was like, come on, why waste the trios title match like that? Pure, in my mind, garbage. Alright, so that was on the buy-in. Most of the time we already bought it before buy-ins happen. Anyway, the main card, we started off with the ROH World Tag Titles. We had champions Better Than You, Baby, Adam Cole and MJF, went up against the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver, along with Evil Uno on the outside. This match was quite interesting. After just a little bit, you had MJF kind of rubbing his neck, talking about he had got a stinger from last week, and his neck was still bothering him. You had MJF standing on the outside with Cole. You had Alex Reynolds grab a chair and literally right square between the shoulder blades, almost to his neck, they whacked MJF hard, just like this, right into the back of him. He went down. It's like, oh snap. He looked really hurt at that point. We're like, okay, this is kind of crazy. Is he actually hurt? What are they going with this? And then you had Dark Uno end up running Cole into the ring post. Cole's out there by himself fighting. And then finally you have MJF come back out with all these officials and referees trying to stop him. He gets in the ring, ends up helping Adam Cole for a little bit. So the tag team of Better Than You Baby end up getting the victory there. Overall, really good match. I ended up giving it 3 1/4. I just didn't like the wonkiness of, is MJ hurt? Is he not? Taking him in the back, him coming back out. It was 2-on-1. And it's like, I don't know. It was kind of weird. And then next up, we had the Ring of Honor World Television Championship on the line. First, I thought it was a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Ring of Honor World Tag Titles, the Ring of Honor World TV title. Champion Samoa Joe going up against Shane Taylor. If you've never seen Shane Taylor before, this was a good representation of what he can do. He is one talented guy. Him and Joe, two horses fighting. Overall, it just wasn't a lot of content there. It was just a match, you know. Ended up giving it 2 3/4 with Joe retaining his tag title. With Joe retaining his television title. Next up, we had the AEW TNT Championship on the line. Champion Luchasaurus and Christian Cage going up against Darby Allin with Nick Wayne on the outside. There was parts of this match, it was actually worrying me that Luchasaurus was going to kill Darby Allin. It was just like, whoa, this match. Yeah, it was just like, it was all Luchasaurus there at the beginning. And then when he started setting up the ring steps and picks Darby up and drops him face first on him, and then tips the steps over and puts him on the lower back of Darby, and then just methodically was just trying to take him apart. When he walks up the ring steps on Darby's back, it's like Nick Wayne pulls the stairs off of Darby. The ref starts counting. Darby gets back in the ring. Luchasaurus picked him up and, spinning side slam for a 2 count. Luchasaurus, corner chops. It was just like move after move. It's like, oh my god, are they going to kill freaking Darby here? And then Nick Wayne got involved a little bit trying to help. He ended up getting taken out. Luchasaurus went to the apron. Darby tripped him up, shoves him into the ring post. Darby forces Luchasaurus into a chair that Luchasaurus had gotten out. Lays in a bunch of strikes at that point. Did the dives off the rope, top rope and everything. Lucha got caught in a crucifix bomb for a near fall. Luchasaurus catches and a splash, then literally murders Darby Allin with German suplex. Luchasaurus with a torture rack. I mean, it was just like torturing for freaking Darby Allin. Luchasaurus did 2 tombstones on him. Darby was able to make a little comeback. Did a couple suicide dives on the Christian, kind of get Christian out of the way. But at the end of the day, we had Luchasaurus retaining his television championship in a 3-star match. Next up, we had Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse. 2 big old dudes just trying to beat the tar out of one another. And that's literally what this match was. 2 athletic big men just fighting and brawling and stuff. Toward the end of it, Miro's wife came out, CJ Parker, formerly known as Liona. Miro ended up getting the victory by submission over Powerhouse Hobbs, which is kind of shocking to me that they didn't let Powerhouse go over here trying to build him up, but hey, they let Miro get the victory, something WWE never did. But then that's when CJ Parker came out, and it was almost like he didn't want to see her. And what in the blue blazes is going on with my TV right now? But anyway, it's almost like he didn't want to see her there, and was like, she came out to help him because Powerhouse had attacked him with the chair, but he's like he didn't want her there, so it was like kind of weird on that aspect. And but then they kind of looked at each other, and he ended up walking away from her. So we'll see where that goes. But Miro seemed to be okay after the chair beat down by Powerhouse Hobbs. Miro's victory, and them giving that 3.5. Next up, with the AEW TBS Championship on the line, we had champion Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho, which is 1/3 of the faction with the Outcast, was Saray and Toni Storm. Overall, it was an okay match. But we did find out that there's issues with Outcast. Ruby Soho got the spray can. I was going to spray it into the eyes of Chris Statlander, while Saraya had the referee distracted. Toni Storm comes out from under the ring, grabs the spray can from Ruby Soho, and just sprays it in the air like it was no big deal, which ended up getting Ruby Soho's attention, which ended up Chris Statlander was able to hit her finisher on Ruby and get the victory. Ended up giving the match 3 1/4. Next up, we had the no disqualification strap match, The Dragon versus Ricky Starkz. We know how this all started with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. The contract said The Dragon. We had the return of Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. And I love how Nigel kind of took a dig at it, like, yeah, it's a week late. Yeah, because it was supposed to, I guess the plan was that Bryan could have got cleared for London was Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness at London, all in. I'll tell you, we saw more blood in this match in the main event than we did in the GCW show on Friday night. Yeah, that was crazy. There was more blood in the freaking AEW than the GCW show. But yeah, Starkz took it to Bryan Danielson at first. Before they hooked the strap up, he ended up hitting him with a weight belt, and then took the buckle of the weight belt and kind of cut him open. So he was gashed and blood the whole freaking match. They took that strap to one another. Starkz actually found a few different ways to use the weight belt, and he used some other things to beat him with. There was one point where Big Bill came down and was trying to help Ricky Starkz. And Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was at ringside, and Dragon got involved and was like, dude, you're a little too old to be doing that. But then toward the end, Bryan Danielson put in the LaBelle lock. Starkz got out of it, so Danielson just tied the freaking strap around the neck of Ricky Starkz and just pulled back. You could see the blood rushing to the freaking head of freaking Ricky Starkz retired. Ricky Starkz, and then Starkz went just freaking passed out. So winner by submission, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. I ended up giving that 4 stars. That was a pretty damn good match. Next up, we had the tag match. We had Eddie Kingston and Katsuyori Sabata teaming up against Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. I mean, this match was truly about Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli getting to one another and beating the tar out of one another. And that's literally what they did. And, I mean, good, bad, or indifferent, it was a brawl. Shibata was kind of more with Yuta, which I definitely see everyone want a pure title match in Wheeler Yuta's future here. But overall, this match was pretty good. Claudio and Wheeler getting the victory there for Blackpool Combat Club. Eddie Kingston will get a shot again at Claudio. I'm assuming they end up giving this match 3.5. Next up, we had Kenny Omega versus Kochu Takashita, or as MJF calls him, Takashita. Takashita with Don Callis going up against Kenny Omega. It was almost like Kenny was wrestling his twin, because Takashita was doing a lot of Kenny Omega moves. And these two fuckers can go. Damn, this match was good. Callis at one point. Omega's laying on the ringside. Don Callis gets probably 8 or 10 chairs and throws it on the top of Mox. Takashita was going to come off the top rope like a swanton. Well, Mox ended up moving the chairs and kind of got his arm up and kind of armed him, kind of almost like kneed him right in the middle of the back. It was like, oh, that looked like it hurt. But these two just fought it out. I ended up giving it 4-star with Konosuke Takashita getting the victory there with the help of Don Callis. And then we had the random 8-man tag. We had Bullet Club Gold, the Bang Bang Club, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, Jay White, and Rock Hard Juice Robinson going up against FTR and the Young Bucks. So we had FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood face the Young Bucks of Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson last week at All In, and this week at All Out they are teaming together. I will say Bullet Club Gold, the Bang Bang Club, seemed more unified, seemed more cohesive than what FTR and the Bucks were. They just seemed off. It's like they didn't turn on one another, they just seemed a little off. Overall, it was a pretty decent match. Ended at 3 1/4 with the Bang Bang Club, the Bullet Club Gold, getting the victory there. And then our main event was for the AEW International Championship champion Orange Cassidy going up against Jon Moxley. What thing cool about this international title, it's kind of been the workhorse title of AEW, kind of like WWE would call it for their Intercontinental title. So it's something Orange Cassidy's had 20-some matches this year with this title, which has been really neat for him to kind of build him up. But a match with Mox like this, you would think it was kind of going to help build the title up and build up Orange Cassidy. And I don't think it disappointed. Cassidy got busted open early, was bleeding throughout the entire match. They were outside fighting, they were fighting in the ring. Cassidy was freaking getting kicked in the face by Mox and his boots. It was like, dude, this was crazy. Both of them were bleeding at one point. Yeah, again, there was more blood in this match than there was in GCW. In these two matches, there were GCW this week. But at the end of the day, I think Orange Cassidy has proven himself as a bona fide Tier 1 wrestler. Everything he's done in AEW, going out there, he can wrestle matches like this where he bleeds like a stuck pig against Jon Moxley. He can wrestle against pretty much anyone. Yes, he does have his own unique style, which at one point Mox was mocking. Mox stuck his hands in the side of his pants. It's like, yeah, I mean, they say imitation is the biggest form of flattery. I think that's what it was meant to be. But, I mean, the crowd thanked Orange Cassidy when this match was over, and it would say shut up, because this match was damn good. I will say Moxley is your new AEW International Champion. I ended up giving it a 4-star. So top to bottom, all out for me, delivered. Multiple 4-star matches. We didn't miss what's his name at all. You know, CM Punk, who Tony Khan announced on Collision, got fired. I really hope that he would have went, "You're fired." But maybe he did. We just didn't see it. But a lot of people on social media have been giving crap to Tony Khan about the way this all went down. Well, Vince never would have done this. Well, he's not Vince McMahon, he's Tony Khan. We don't know exactly what happened. In fact, if he says he felt threatened backstage and it's the first time he's ever done that, I kind of believe it. Punk was the loose cannon in my mind. Obviously, we had the issue last year where he got suspended, the Elite got suspended, and now we have this. What's the common denominator here? The common denominator is Punk. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. If this whole thing was over Jack Perry and using real glass instead of fake glass, why does it matter to Punk when Punk's not even in the match? That's what I don't understand. But maybe I'll never understand because I'm not a professional wrestler, but whatever. But that's all I'm going to say about it. I know there's been a lot of people in my little inner circle who wanted me to do a video about Punk. I'm like, no, there's no reason to. I didn't do videos when people got fired from WWE. Why do it for this one? But yeah, again, I really hope that at the end of the day, I wish Tony would have done that when he talked about it on the Collision. When he got all done, he'd be like, yes, At the end of it, I went, Phillip Brooks, you're fired. But, you know. Anyways, that is the All Out 2023 review. Stay tuned to our sports show. We got the GCW shows on the weekend coming up. We got football all week, NASCAR all week, as we get an inch closer to the end of the year, and then the showcase of the independents in January of 2024. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day, have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports.